Due to a variety of transportation modes and many people traveling at the same time, most universities offer unique transportation challenges, and the University of Wisconsin-Madison is no exception. On the UW-Madison campus, the transportation system must handle pedestrian travel, bicycles, buses, cars, delivery vehicles, maintenance vehicles, and mopeds, while flowing smoothly and keeping all of the other groups safe. This is no small feat. Moped use in particular is a growing issue on campus because the popularity and number of mopeds is increasing. Recently, UW-Madison surpassed Hawaii to claim the title of largest university moped population in the U.S. UW-Madison is a particularly spread out university, and mopeds allow students to cover the large distances and get to class on time. Although the 1,800 permitted mopeds are not all on campus at the same time, the increase over the past years has led to some transportation challenges.
One area of the campus where these challenges are particularly evident is in the Charter Street corridor from Johnson Street north to Observatory Drive. In this area, there are many buildings holding classes, and in between classes, several intersections become very congested. Charter Street is also the only major north-south road besides Park Street, and as a result, it has considerable truck and maintenance traffic servicing the buildings. The rush nature of most of the people using the area results in quite a bit of confusion and creates a dangerous situation for all parties.
Mopeds seem to be at the root of many of the issues in the Charter Street corridor, and in order to better understand them and to find potential solutions to the dangerous situations, the area and specifically moped use in the area need to be studied. So what's the problem? As we can see from this video, there are many dangerous interactions between mopeds, pedestrians, and other types of vehicles. In order to develop a safer traffic system, we would like to limit these interactions. This is a challenge because traffic rules aren't always obeyed on a consistent basis. This is especially true with mopeds because sometimes they act as vehicles, while at other times they act as pedestrians moving through the intersection. This is possible because mopeds are small and very maneuverable. One way to limit the dangerous interactions that occur almost every day on campuses is by changing the overall traffic patterns of moped users. This could be accomplished by changing where mopeds are able to park.
In looking for solutions to the moped problem, we talked with the transportation planner for the UW-Wisconsin, Rob Kennedy. Mr. Kennedy mentioned that there are no planned parking additions or new projects within the main campus area for holding more mopeds in the near future. In fact, he said that the current moped lots are not being fully utilized. Of the roughly 1,300 moped stalls on campus, it's estimated that there are 900 stalls that are occupied at any given time. With 400 open stalls at any given time, we can conclude that the problem isn't that the UW lacks moped parking stalls, but rather that they are not in ideal locations. People riding mopeds want to choose the nearest parking lot to their destination to limit the amount of time they need to walk. Near Charter Street, we observe that there are 8 parking lots in close proximity to general education buildings that are consistently near capacity. The Charter Street corridor is used to get to these spaces.
Mr. Kennedy mentioned that the university is considering a plan where mopeds are assigned a parking stall and would have access to 2 large lots that don't have assigned parking. Although we agree with this plan, we also recognize that this is a multi-layered issue in which mopeds play only a partial role. Perhaps bigger contributors to the problem that we see are the pedestrians at these intersections. If something could be done to change pedestrian behavior, we could see a much safer environment.
So, after looking at the data and monitoring the intersection a little bit, we've come up with some ideas, a wide range that could all be beneficial for the intersection. We're going to go through some pros and cons, and then at the end kind of wrap it up and see what we feel is the best option for right now.
The first solution we looked at was installing a traffic signal at this intersection. However, when we went out there and actually took the traffic count, the warrants weren't met. We took the traffic count and the numbers, they were close to the 70% rule. However, with that rule, you need the 40-mile-an-hour traffic, and out there it's only 25 miles an hour. And so that warrant would not be met, and neither would any of the other warrants. So we cannot put a traffic signal in this area.
Another idea we had would be close down Charter Street between Observatory and University during the daytime and busy hours. This would cause a lot of new planning because the Madison Metro bus routes go down Charter and across to Linden. It would cause new planning we'd have to do, which is going to take a lot of time. Another problem with that would be all the moped parking lots are located down Charter and at the top of the hill. There's 8 of them total that would have to be moved. And the problem with that would be, as Rob Kennedy told us, there's no more parking spots available, so that would kind of be an issue as well.
Another idea that we had was to introduce a pedestrian gate that would almost act just like a railroad crossing, where some type of arm would actually come down and block pedestrians from actually crossing the road when they're not supposed to. A problem that we had with this idea, just like the U-shaped gates that are on University Avenue right now, is that kids can just skirt under them to cross the road, and they can just keep breaking the law. So they might not be that effective.
The most cost-effective option that we came up with was to increase signage and awareness within the campus community about pedestrian safety and about some of the incidents at these intersections. First off, just putting in signs saying yield to pedestrians would go a long way to protect the pedestrians, which are obviously the most vulnerable part of the transportation system. On top of that, if there was some sort of video, either when you go to get a moped parking permit or any parking permit on campus that you had to watch, about safety, just general traffic safety, or if it was sent out in an email to the general campus community, any awareness that can be raised through these sort of options would really help out, just to make people aware of what's going on and some of the dangers as we get to class. It would obviously, as I said, be a very, very cheap solution, and something that, although maybe not the long-term solution, it would do a lot for the immediate safety and the immediate traffic problems, and then we could study the intersection and study the area a little bit longer and come up with some better solutions for the long term without spending all that kind of money.